Hi everyone, it's Jamie again. We're working our way through the Pilgrim's Progress, the simplified version, and welcome again to my backyard. I'm finding all kinds of fun places to be able to read a good book. So right now I'm on a really old staircase here in my backyard, not one that we ever actually walk on, which is good because it has the ability to cave in. It's pretty old. So here we go. So he went on with haste. He did not speak on the road, and he could not feel safe until he was in the path which he had left. In time he got up to the gate and read the sign over it. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. He gave 2 or 3 knocks and said, May I enter in here? Knock, and it shall be opened unto you is what it says up here. And there's Christian with his heavy pack on. At last a man named Goodwill came to the gate. Who is there? He called. Where do you come from? What do you want? Christian, I come from the city of destruction with a load of sins on my back. I am on my way to Mount Zion, that I may be free from the wrath to come. I have been told that my way is through this gate. I would know, sir, if you will let me in. Goodwill, with all my heart. He flung back the gate, but just as Christian was stepping in, he gave him a pull. Then said Christian, What means that? A short way from this gate, said Goodwill, there is a strong fort. Beelzebub is the chief of that fort. He and his helpers shoot darts at all who come up to the gate to try to kill them before they get in. Then said Christian, I come in with joy and with fear. When he had entered, the man at the gate said, Who sent you here? Christian, Evangelist said I could come and knock. He said that you, sir, would tell me what I must do. Goodwill, the door is thrown open wide for you to come in, and no man can shut it. Christian, now I begin to reap the good of all the dangers I have met with on the way. Goodwill, but how is it that no one comes with you? Christian, none of your friends saw as I did that there was cause of fear. Okay, so here's Goodwill talking to Christian. Goodwill, did they know of your flight? Christian, yes, my wife and young ones saw me go. I heard their cries as they ran out to try and stop me. Some of my friends tried to make me come home, but I put my hands to my ears and so came on my way. Goodwill, but did none of them come out to beg you to go back? Christian, yes, both Obstinate and Pliable came. But when they found that I would not yield, Obstinate went home, but Pliable came with me as far as the Slough of Despond. Goodwill, why did he not come through it? When Christian told him the rest, he said, Ah, poor man, is a world of joy such a small thing to him that he did not think it worthwhile to run a few risks to gain it? Sir, said Christian, there is not much difference between him and me. Then he told Goodwill how he had been led from the straight path by Mr. Worldly Wiseman. Goodwill, oh, did he get hold of you? What, he tried to convince you that you could be helped by Mr. Legality? They are in truth cheats, and did you listen to what he said? Christian then told him, But now that I am here, he said, I am more fit for death than to stand and talk to my Lord. But oh, the joy it is to me to be here. Goodwill, we keep none out that knock at this gate, no matter what they have done before they came here, for they are in no wise cast out. So, good Christian, come with me, and I will teach you the way you must go. Look before you. That is the way which was laid down by Christ and the wise men of old, and it is straight as a ruler. Christian, but is there no turn or bend by which one who knows not the road might lose his way? Goodwill, my friend, there are many wide paths that lead down to it, yet by this you may judge the right from the wrong. The right paths are straight and narrow. Okay, here is Goodwill showing Christian that the path is straight and narrow. There are wide portions, but you have to know the difference between right and wrong as to whether or not to take those paths. Got to stay on the straight and narrow. Then I saw in my dream that Christian said, Could you not help me off with this burden on my back? Goodwill replied, As to your burden, you must bear it until you come to the place of deliverance, for there it will fall from your back. Christian wanted to start off on the road right away, but Goodwill said, Stop a while, and let me tell you something. When you have gone through the gate, you will see the house of Mr. Interpreter. Knock at his door, and he will show you good things." Then Christian left his friend, who bade him Godspeed. Christian now went on until he came to the house of Mr. Interpreter. After he had knocked 2 or 3 times, someone came to the door and said, "Who is there?" Christian: "I have come to see the good man of the house." In a short time, Mr. Interpreter himself came to him and said, "What would you have?" Christian: "Sir, I am come from the city of destruction, and I am on my way to Mount Zion. Mr. Goodwill told me that if I came here, you would show me good things that would help me." Then Interpreter took Christian to a room and told his servant to bring a light. On the wall, Christian saw the pictures of one who, which is capitalized, so talking about God, had a grave face. He was looking toward the sky, and the best of books was in his hands. The law of truth was on his lips, and the world was at his back. He stood as if he would plead for men, and a crown of gold hung near his head. Christian: "What does this mean?" Interpreter: "I have shown you this picture first, for this is he who is to be your sole guide when you cannot find your way to the land to which you go. Listen carefully to what I tell you, for you will not meet some who will pretend to lead you right, but their way goes down to death." Then he took him to a large room that was full of dust. An interpreter told his servant to sweep it. Now when he did so, such clouds of dust flew up that Christian began to cough. Okay, there's the servant sweeping all of that dust. Then he took him, then said the interpreter to a young girl who stood by, "Put water on the floor so the dust will not rise." When she had done this, it was easy to sweep the floor. Christian: "What means this?" Interpreter: "This room is the heart of the man who knows not the grace of God. The dust is his sin. He who swept first is the law, but the law cannot take away sin. She who put water on the floor is the book which tells good news to man. Now as soon as the law swept, the dust flew about so much that the room could not be made clean by him. This is to show you that the law, as it works, does not cleanse the heart from sin. The law only stirs sin up so that we can see it more clearly. Then you saw the young girl come in to put water on the dust. This shows that sin is made clean by faith in the book." Then Interpreter led Christian to a little room where 2 children sat. One child was named Passion, and one was named Patience. Patience was happy and quiet, but Passion was pouting. Okay, so this is Patience down here, and here is Passion. Pouty, pouty. Then someone came to Passion and gave him a box full of wonderful gifts. Passion played with them for a while, but soon he had broken them all or thrown them away. He was left at the end with nothing but rags. "What does this mean?" Pilgrim asked. Interpreter: "Passion is like the people of this world. They want all the good things now. They do not care what happens to them when they are older. They do not care what happens to them after they die. Soon they will have nothing but rags." Patience is wise. She thinks about heaven. She is willing to wait for the best gifts. She will have wonderful things when Passion is left with nothing. "Now," said Christian, "let me go on my way." "Good," said Interpreter. "Remember all that I have told you, and may faith guide thee." Then I saw in my dream that the highway where Christian was to walk had a wall on each side, and the name of that wall was Salvation. Christian ran up this highway, still struggling under the burden on his back. At the top of the hill stood a cross, and at the foot of it a tomb. Just as Christian came up to the cross, his burden slid from his back and fell into the tomb, and saw it no more. It's gone. Then was Christian glad, and he said with a merry heart, "He gives me rest by grief and life by his death." That's with a capital H, his death. Okay, check out the pack. Falling off at the cross. He's being delivered. Yet he stood for a while, for he was struck with awe to think that the sight of the cross should take away his burden. 3 or 4 times did he look on the cross and the tomb, and the tears rose to his eyes. As he stood thus and wept, 3 bright ones came to him. One of them said, "Peace be to thee, thy sins are forgiven." Another came up to him to take off his rags and put a new robe on him. The third set a mark on his face and gave him a scroll with a seal on it. "Look on this as you run," he said, "and give it in at the celestial gate." There's that scroll being given to Christian. Christian gave 3 leaps for joy and sang as he went, "Ah, what a place is this! Here did the strings crack that bound my burden to me. Blessed cross, blessed tomb, nay, blessed is the Lord that was put to shame for me." He went on thus until he came to a valley. There he saw 3 men who were sleeping with chains on their feet. The name of one was Simple, one Sloth, and the third Presumption. As Christian saw them lie in this state, he went to wake them. "You are like those that sleep on the top of a mast," he said, "for the Dead Sea is at your feet. Wake, rise, and come with me. Trust me, and I will help you get rid of your chains." With that, they looked up at him, and Simple said, "You do not look strong enough to help us." Sloth said, "I want to get more sleep." Presumption said, "Let us do as we please." And so they lay down to sleep once more. Then I saw in my dream that 2 men jumped from the top of the wall and made great haste to come up to Christian. Their names were Formalist and Hypocrisy. There's Formalist and Hypocrisy coming over the wall to get to Christian. Formalist and Hypocrisy both said, "We were born in the land of vain glory and are on our way to Mount Zion for praise." Christian, "Why come you not at the gate? Do you not know that he does not come in at the door but climbs up some other way is a thief?" "To go through the gate is too far around," they answered. "The best way is to make a shortcut of it and climb the wall as we have done." Christian, "But what will the lord of the town to which we are bound think of if we go not in the way he tells us?" "You do not need to worry about that," they said. "People have been climbing over this wall for years." "But," said Christian, "is that the right way to get in?" "What difference does it make?" they asked. "We are in, you come in the gate, and we came in over the wall. You just think you are better than we are." Christian, "I walk by the rule of my Lord, but you walk by the rule of your own wishes. The Lord of the way will treat you like thieves in the end." They all went on until they came to the foot of the hill of difficulty, where there was a spring. 2 more paths led from that place, one on the left hand and one on the right. But the path that Christian was told to take went straight up the hill, and the name of the hill was Difficulty. When Christian got as far as the spring of life, he drank of it and then went up the hill. But when the 2 men saw that it was steep and high, and that there were 3 ways to choose from, they decided not to take the difficult way. One of them took the path called Danger and lost his way in a great wood. The other went by the road of Destruction. This led him to a wide field full of dark rocks, where he fell and rose no more. Looks like we need to stop here because it is starting to rain and I'm getting wet here. Talk to you soon. Let's read some more.